The matchmaking update is here. Hi everyone. Before I continue with this, I just want to point out that at the end of the video I'll talk about the balance pad that was released 2 days ago. So let's get into the matchmaking update. So, the matchmaking update. I didn't expect it to be this really. I was expecting something smaller, to be fair. But okay, so let's get into it. So there is now standard mode and ranked mode. Standard mode is your casual mode where there are no restrictions to party size or skill spread. The matchmaker still tries to account for your character. It says account for your experience with that hero, so I assume they're still using hero MMR for casual. So you wouldn't, if you're new on Ivy, but you only play other characters, then you wouldn't put in the same skill-based skill people that you would play with your main character as Ivy, for example. There's now a ranked mode. Ranked mode gives players a way to queue for more competitive games against similarly skilled players with higher stakes. Each season you will be able to climb the ranks and see how far you can go. So, okay, now we have confirmation of seasons. The first season is called Beta Season 1. We'll go to that in a moment. So these are the new art and names for the ranks. So we have Acolyte, Sentinel, Mystique as the new ranks, replacing... I actually forgot what it's replacing. Replacing Alchemist, Arcanist. Yeah, I think Alchemist and Arcanist, actually. I don't think who else is getting removed. Oh, Archon. Yeah, Archon is not a real rank anymore. Doesn't exist. It's the same amount. It's the same. It still has the same amount of divisions within a rank. 1 from 6. It's very pretty art. Eligibility, so you would need to have at least 60 wins to play in standard mode. They did it to ensure higher quality of the ranked experience. But also you will need to at least have 15 matches won in standard mode on 3 characters. So you need to have 3 characters unlocked. So you need to have 15 wins if you go into ranked. Yeah, this new UIT ranked. See? These are the characters I can pick in ranked, because I have 15 wins of them, but the grade ones, like, I don't have 15 wins on them. And as far as I can read it again, but I think it's supposed to be, I'm not sure if it's like seasonal or, because I think I have more wins on Graves, so I'm not exactly sure. Wait, no, let's just go. I'm not gonna waste your time with it. But you need to have 15 wins on a character to be eligible to use that said character in ranked. The first season starts today and ends on October the 7th. Now I want to show you something really interesting. This is the ranked hub. See, this dynamically changes depending on your rank. Like this here will change to your rank, and this here will change to your characters played, your matches played, and it has random scribbles. Like you can see, I have this like metro, I think, like this subway, but I've seen people have like a little M here. When you open it, you can see your rank, your calibration, the description of how it works. Your matches, and the heroes that are eligible to play ranked with. Oh, there's also a leaderboard. Still, don't worry about that. What else did I want to mention? Okay, so there will be... Yes, okay, at the start of the season, everyone will start at the preparation phase of 8 games, so you need to do 8 games to get your rank. All players will have a soft reset prior to their rank, maintaining some history of their previous performance. Makes sense. Players can exit calibration at max rank of Oracle 6, so you can't go above Oracle 6 even if you do perfectly well on your calibration. That makes sense. You still have to grind, you still have to essentially show that you have the skill set to get to the higher ranks, which in this case are Phantom, Ascended, and Eternist. What else? So this is... The ranked mode will only allow for solo or duo. I was actually, if there was a ranked mode, because I didn't expect there to be, I assumed they would have three people queue rather than one or duo, solo or duo. But I guess this makes sense if you don't want to be able people to boost. Eternus players can only queue with Eternus players as long as they're within 3 sub-ranks. And regular players below that can rank with players that are 1 rank away from each other. So Mystic and Ritualist, for example. This is the rank hub. I talked about it. And the ranked points. When each win or loss will grant you 200 plus minus 150 on average. These numbers could vary depending on the expectation of the matchmaker from the game or win streaks. Progress to the sub-rank, to the next sub-rank, you will need 1,000 rank points for each promotion. However, the final sub-rank before moving to a new rank, Mystic 6 to Ritualist 1, requires 2k points. Once you reach Eternus 1, there will be normally fixed amount of points needed to progress from one sub-rank to another threshold, as will be dynamically updated daily to the segment, the sub-ranks on percentile basis. So they have dynamic MMR changes for Eternus, just so people don't get to Eternus and just their account stays there AFK, which is something I've seen people do in other games. So they do want you to, they don't want you to stay there AFK. They want you to prove yourself to be actually Eternus. Entering a match, this is kind of a mini draft. We think the ability to queue it in mind is important and popular feature with more players, even more so in ranked, where it's critical that everyone has a good understanding of how to pilot their selected hero. By having hero selection done in advance of the game formation, we are able to utilize the matchmaker on the back end to mix match players from the last queue to meet everyone's preferences, as being able to get the hero they want, while also allowing us the ability to create a reasonable team composition. As part of this update, we've done some improvements on the matchmaker's ability to create a solid team composition. This is also something we expect to improve over time as player plays grows and as more heroes are released. The matchmaker will have more opportunities to create a balanced match with good composition, while also increasing the chances to get your hero in your highest priority. And this is Valve recognizing here that the matchmaker won't always do a good job, because it's also dependent on the time of day, on the ranks, and on the region where queue times might be thinner, which makes very much sense. So at such, Valve are giving the ability with this ranked update. They're introducing the ability to change your hero in the new pre-game phase. So basically, when you get into the match with your selected heroes, it kind of looks like a street brawl menu, and you can maybe swap with a character. Once you enter a new match, you'll see a breakdown of the ranks all playing the game, and you will enter a pre-game waiting area where you can control your hero. During this time, you will choose to change your given hero to any other hero that hasn't been selected, as long as you have the hero unlocked for ranked play. The primary purpose for this is to allow players to quickly adjust and fit their team comp if they basically require it, if they want to. So this is basically an explanation how the swap function works and how you can change out of your character. Obviously, if the enemy team has a character, you can pick it. Makes sense. See, as such, there isn't a live update of what heroes enemies picking charging into you. You only see the initial hero composition, so when you log in, or when you start in. If you end up swapping into a hero that enemy hero swapped into before you, you'll get an error and then be able to select a different hero. Otherwise, you'll be given that hero. Each player can only swap once. They also tell you that pre-game, again similar to the street brawl thing, you can change your lanes. And a number of ranked character, the number of banned characters in the ranked mode has been increased from 2 to 3, and the algorithm for it has been improved. Abandoned penalties: you can't queue for ranked if you have any ban, like low priority, communication ban, etc. If a player abandoned before a 5-minute mark, the game will be saved as safe to leave, and there will be no. And the game will be counted as a loss for the leaver and the party, and the abandoning player will receive leaver penalty. If a player abandons the game after the game will receive a leaver penalty and the party will have the game count as a loss. Other players abandoning the team's player will have their game voided or safe to leave without any punishment. Again, these are very good changes for if you're an opposing, you will play the game as normal. However, if you have a player on the team then abandons were, they will be penalized just like the first abandoning part here. And the above rule kicking for the opposing team now as well. In this case, none of the remaining players on either team will have the game count as a loss. You will only get the win if your team finishes up the game with the win. Leaver penalties start with queue timeouts and escalate to increasingly increasing the amounts of low priority games. Yeah, makes absolute sense. These are all really good changes. The leaderboard has been increased. Now it requires you to have matches in the past 50 to 70 days rather than 30 days. And for specific hero leaderboards, the requirements in the last 30 days has been increased from 20 matches to 30 matches. There's also a new requirement that you will need to have 100 lifetime wins on that hero to be considered part of the leaderboard. And this is the rollout here. They're basically talking about how the system is live right now. It's very new, so people should expect a rocky start. Valve are monitoring the situation, looking at anything they could calibrate at the back end to ensure high quality matches. And that's the matchmaking update. I want to point another thing out. When you queue into ranked mode, like for example, it becomes purple. And I got into a match, so let's see how it is. Ooh, nice menu. Hidden King versus Arc Mother. Here is my Civ. Oh, it disabled my mods. I had a very cute UI mod. And as you can see, the 3 enemy heroes are now banned here. I can swap with anyone. For example, I want to swap with Bebop. And you can click this thing here to change your character if you want to. For many of the characters, you already have 15. But I like having Civ, so I'm gonna keep Civ. Thank you for watching this part of the video. Now it's gonna start the update from the last two days ago. Update for the 28th of July. So I'm kind of late on this, so I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna make it as to the point as I can, because you've already probably read it and you've probably watched other people make videos about it. So I'm gonna make it as basic as straightforward as I can. In the general changes, this means that the orb spawner in the base that gives 10 souls on hit now splits to nearby players. So on expire, that means you don't need to hit it. If there's a soul behind you and it explodes, you still get the value of it. If there's allies next to you, it gets soul shared by the same rules as a regular orb from during the laning phase from troopers. From the items, there's some like small number change, but the biggest one is Curse. Curse no longer has minus 40% damage output, now applies a minus 20% damage output debuff for 3.25 seconds duration, only when you activate it on a character. So what this means is the item is now technically better by all metrics, but it's not better in 1v1 situations, which was the only reason you bought it on Haze. But also it means that it's better on everyone that's not a pure DPS, because 3 seconds for minus 25 seconds damage penalty is not that much. So I can definitely see this item getting bought much more on characters that don't buy pure DPS. And in that case, and because the way that damage scaling works, I can see this item being bought by anyone that's basically not an M1 character. Echo Shard has got a slight mini rework. Now has a 0.5 cast time, so when you activate the item, it has a slight delay. It no longer grants fire rate, which was an absurd stat to have to begin with. So I'm glad they removed that. Echo Shard cooldown increased from 35 seconds to 30 seconds plus the cooldown of the imbued ability, so it's 30 seconds plus whatever ability you activate it on. This basically means that Echo Shard Haze is almost dead, but also it drastically nerfs every Echo Shard build. Now, for the past maybe month or so, every build, most of the metric builds in solo queue have been around Echo Shard, Echo Paradox, Echo Ivy, Echo Rem, Echo Abrams even. So it's Echo Shard. It's a unique item. It's neat. I'm happy that they haven't deleted it, but its ability before this nerf, its power level was way too big and way too difficult to engage against and fight. You can do very little against a Paradox that throws 2 bombs one on top of each other and O2. You're dead. Ivy, it's gonna stun you so long, and she's gonna heal so much with Echo Shard on her ability. I can yap about this. Like, I don't need to talk about much about this, but basically, yes, Echo Shard is kill, kinda, but not really. It's still kinda good, but only on specific scenarios. The rest of the minor number changes to items that haven't been really that used. The biggest one being Mystic Shot, I think, with Mystic Shot getting its spirit scaling reduced from 1.2 to 0.9. I'm not sure exactly why. I don't think the item was that powerful. I suspect this is a more of a early game nerf to mid game. I mean, I guess it's here. I guess you had a lot of hybrid builds running around with Mystic Shot, which does make sense if you want to like keep it to the spirit characters mainly. But we'll see, maybe they'll buff it. Flying bullets no longer grants 15% weapon damage, and weighty shot has been nerfed by weapon damage has been reduced by 10%. Spirit Burn is another item that got drastically changed. This patch no longer hits enemies in a AoE radius. Now it only affects one target, and it no longer has a cooldown, but rather the cooldown is character specific. So you can, in theory, have 6 Spirit Burns on the enemy. Now, they removed the half cooldown against NPCs. They removed the explosion damage from 110 to 50, and the duration has been nerfed. Now, I mean, the duration was Spirit Burn. I misread. Now, I understand the aspect the Spirit Burn is nerfed, but I want to point out that now you can proc it on any character without a cooldown, and also it can combine much better against individual character with escalating exposure. Now, while the current numbers might be too low for the strategy I'm thinking of buying Spirit Burn and rushing escalating then so you can get the full value of damage of the spirit amplification, I don't think this is the big nerf people argue it is. Again, the numbers might be slightly too low, but I think if this item gets even slightly buffed, it's always going to be better than the previous Spirit Burn. Just because of that interaction. Suppressor, yeah, okay. Tank Buster no longer procs of items. There were a bunch of okay, so there was a combo with Spirit Burn, Mystic Shot, and Tank Buster where you would essentially guarantee a huge burst of, might even be Mystic Reverb actually. I don't actually remember this, but this is fine. They wanted to nerf like the spirit burst, but they didn't want to nerf the spirit damage, if that makes sense. The characters with the biggest outliers are nerfed, and the characters underperforming the most are buffed. I don't know why Silver was nerfed. She got she's doing worse everywhere. So I guess I don't know why she got nerfed. I think they could have kept her. Because they already nerfed weighted shots and slowing bullets, so I mean they'll probably buff her again. Celeste Out got buffed, Noman got nerfed. Apollo is the big one, which the Ripples got tier 3, lost its stun duration, but instead got a 60% bullet, spirit, and melee lifesteal against the target for 7 seconds, which again, this kinda nerfs substantially the melee build, but it does give more power to the more frontliner build of Apollo that you could do on him. So we'll see how that goes. Celeste definitely needed buffs. Dorman is Dorman. Sleep Dagger Haze got drastically nerfed. Wake Up reduced from 1 point, Spirit Scaling from 1.003 to 1.002. Sleep Dagger Spirit Scaling reduced from 2.2 to 2.22. And Dagger changed from minus cooldown to now Sleep Duration plus Asphyxiation stacks, which again makes it less consistent, less powerful around the map. Hate Stealer changed from 1 point Sleep Duration and minus 50% move speed to minus 70% cooldown and 50% minus move speed and dash speed for 3 seconds on Wake Up again. Nerfs to the daggers. Haze Fixation nerfed tier 3 from 0.14 per stack to 0.11. This is a drastic nerf. And then to compensate that, they made Fixation tier 3 now scale with weapon damage 0.00003, which I think I did the math correctly. In order to get this 0.11 to 0.14, you would need like 15k investment into the weapon category, or 12k, somewhere between 12 and 15k, which is, yeah, it's a investment, so drastically lowers her power in the early to mid game. There are other, like Mirage has been killed, Scarab's duration reduced by 2 seconds, Fab Scarabs reduced from 2,000 to 1. This Devil lift duration this Devil Tier 3 no longer gives lift duration, and because of the Echo Shard nerfs, you're not gonna see Mirage buying Echo Shard for the second ability anymore, probably. Mirage Dinmark still being its cooldown instead, 0.75. Instead of being 1 second cooldown, it's 0.75. And oh yeah, the big next one, Mow and Kill can no longer starts. Cooldown starts immediately. I don't know how. I completely misread it. I don't know why. And Mow and Kill can now let you cast item while you're using it. So you can use any item as Mow and Kill now while you're in the oath. Where is Mow and Quillium? For example, where is it? Majestic Leap. There it is. All right, I did my rank one. I did my Civ match. It's automatically dynamically updated on the screen. I suppose there's going to be some kind of picture with my heroes in there. And now I out and view, and you can use Majestic Leap, Warp Stone, any of them. Thank you for watching, everyone. I really want to start uploading more, but you know, I'll try to. I really want to do more content. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a nice day and take care. Bye.